And we're back. Oh man, he didn't stand a chance. Damn, there's a lot of these guys in here, man. What the fuck? But on the last episode, I was talking about ways that developers try to create these situations to set you up for doom, for death, for doom and death. I think it's kind of an interesting subject because I'm realizing now that developers are limited as far as the ways they can set you up depending on the type of enemies that you're facing. If they're just agents of chaos that don't have like a human level of intellect to be able to scheme and strategize, there's only so much that the developers can do, right, without crossing that threshold and just being silly. Right? Like, it would be, you look at Resident Evil 2 zombies versus Resident Evil 4 zombies, right? It wouldn't make any sense for the like Resident Evil 2 zombies to do something like the boulder, the rock boulder challenge that the Resident Evil 4 zombies were able to do, because the Resident Evil 4 zombies were more intelligent because they weren't regular zombies. They were created through the use of parasites. So they were able to maintain a certain level of human thought. So it made sense for them to be able to do stuff like that, to create those setups. So it gave the developers a lot of leeway as far as the different situations they can create for the oh shit. I swear, bro, those summoners. I mean, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I think the main thing is having the right weapon out at the right time is more important than anything else. Oh shit. Okay. So you turn the lights on and it summons demons. That's great. That's just fucking fantastic. But yeah, it's interesting because as a developer, it's your job to design different setups and whatnot for the players to have to overcome. But you're limited by the intelligence and capabilities of the enemies that the player has to deal with. Oh shit. God damn it, dude. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I kind of just stopped giving a fuck. I got caught up in a corner over here, and I had the wrong gun. And man, I swear, bro, like this game would not be this game would be a lot easier if making sure that you got the right weapon out was easier, man. I swear. I don't know. Maybe my thinking isn't quick enough because it's not like I can't just switch, right? But I think what always gets me is like in a situation like that where I got caught up in the corner and the enemy's right there in my face. I had the rocket launcher out, right? And so it's like, okay, switch weapons. BFG, BFG to the, you know, it's shit like that is what I'm saying, bro. It's shit like that is what's kind of annoying about the game. But you know, it's it's just one of those things, I guess. You can't really expect a game from this era to make those kind of considerations for the player. To be fair, a custom weapon reel seems like something that would be more really not even though, because if you were playing on PC, you would have hotkeys. So it's not even like some futuristic thing that developers at the time just weren't aware of or never thought of. Because we already had hotkeys. If I was playing on PC, I would know, okay, press forward, I got the machine gun, you know? Instead of having a cycle. Oh, great. Oh shit. That wasn't that bad. I mean, it's never that bad now that you got the cube that can instantly kill an enemy and restore your health. I mean, despite all the bullshit I've been through this episode, I'm still doing pretty well. But let's get a save in. What is that? Oh shit, what the hell? So they're shooting those? So is that a new enemy? Damn, this motherfucker's tough too. God damn! What the fuck? What the hell? That's one tough bitch. But I'm tough too. And I don't quit. So suck my dick. Okay. See, I'm realizing you always see me explode. Go ahead and blow up those red barrels. Unless you're in a situation where it's obvious that it's gonna be to your advantage to
So
keep it
you
there.
made it this far.
I think it's best to blow it up. He said, so you made it this far. You know what that means. He getting scared. He like, hold up. He at that point where it's like, hold up, how this dude make it this far? Must be a boss coming up. Now, didn't those spirit ladies say something like, I gotta defeat the 5 demons or something? Like it's five demons I gotta kill or some shit like that. Dude, they are giving me the whole arsenal, bro. It's definitely a boss coming up. And they are not being shy about it. Normally I would throw away the grenades, but I mean, it's probably about to get bad. All the shit they just gave me.
Setting new standards in both archaeological discovery and analysis, the UAC is proud to showcase the latest findings on 4 unique and fascinating artifacts. These tablets were originally discovered in the dig site under what has become known as Site 3. Subsequent examination of the surrounding area and carbon dating of the tablets brought UAC researchers to the conclusion that the tablets belong to a civilization that existed millennia ago and were placed in a holy burial ground of some sort. Utilizing the best minds in linguistics and UAC proprietary pattern recognition software, the tablets were exhaustively examined. What we found was fantastic. The first tablet provided us with a wealth of scientific data, specifically detailing the mathematical concepts behind teleportation. UAC researchers use this information as the cornerstone for building the Delta teleportation devices. The second and third tablets illustrate an epic story, a story of war, and how, faced with impossible odds, the ultimate sacrifice of an entire race to achieve victory. The fourth temple.
Yeah, come on. You know what's coming.
Details how the essence of each individual was captured and placed in the artifact we now refer to as the Soul Cube. This device was wielded by their mightiest warrior, and with it he banished the invading horde forever. Our researchers are still analyzing a recently found hidden section of the fourth stone and some related fragments. It goes into detail on the invading force and indicates the remaining survivors may have teleported somewhere. Where we do not know, although it seems to reference a map we have yet to locate. To date, there remains no evidence of any type of invasion at any of the sites. Our assumption...
Yeah, shut up. I got it. Oh, damn. It's a super demon. That's what I'm going to call these bosses from now on. I just hope it's not like another shoot the thing enemy. What? Oh, shit. But why, dude, why is it that I gotta hold down to run when I'm in these hell areas, bro? Shit don't make sense. The grenades! And of course, I think one just blew up in my fucking face too. As they always tend to do. Bro, I can't get some other weapons, dog. God fucking damn it, dude. Oh my fucking god. I miss like a motherfucker too. Bruh, it's like something's going wrong and I can't get to my other weapons, dog. Oh wait, never mind. I'm using the fucking directional pad because that's where the fucking key is. Shit. God damn it, dude. Fuck. Shit. The bad thing about it when you get hit, the camera just it shakes so much that you can't tell where you at. It's like it does like hold on. I can't even do it.
The Soul Cube. This device was wielded
when you get hit, it shakes up the camera so bad you can't see where you're at.
Our researchers are still analyzing a recently found hidden section of the fourth stone and some related fragments.
But what did I say? The environment is way more dangerous than the fucking demons, and that shit proves to be true yet again. It's not the demons, it's falling off shit. You can kill the demons, you can finesse them, but then you just falling off shit. I'm salty. I'm very salty right now. That was bullshit. That was bullshit. I know one thing. You definitely want to get rid of the fast demons first. Them motherfuckers that's crawling on the damn ground, them right there, is them that's really making this shit hard. I mean, it's a shame that the little demons worse than the big demons. Dude, what the shit? That's what I'm saying. When you get hit, it shakes up the camera so bad, you can't see where you at. I mean, I get it. You get hit, you get stunned, but it's a little excessive. Especially in an area like this where you can just fall the fuck off shit. God, I hope this is the final boss. I really do. I hope this is it. I know it's not, but I hope it is. See, dude, that shit is crazy, bro. That shit is mad excessive, though. And I really just don't understand why it is that I have to hold down to run when I could just toggle it before. I don't get that shit. It's like they're making it unnecessarily tedious. It's like they just want to piss me off. Was that the whole point? Was I wasting ammo just shooting at them, or I don't know. It seems like I tend to kill these guys, finish them off with the cube. Is that it? Did I save the day?
Recon Zulu, this is Echo 1. Give me a visual status.
Was that it?
Echo 1, this
That
is
was
Recon
honestly a
Zulu.
little
We've got
abrupt.
massive damage all over the base. This place looks like hell. I've got life signs on the bioscanner. Eyes sharp. Echo 1, we've got a survivor, a Marine. Corporal, you hear me? You alright? Can you hear me?
Get me the fuck
Echo
out
1,
of
this is
here.
Recon Zulu. Prepare for medevac. Copy that.
Nah,
You
but seriously,
located
fuck that
Counselor
boss.
Swan. Yes, sir. He's dead. Roger, Recon 1. What about Dr. Betruger? He's nowhere to be found, sir.
Wow, that's it? I know I said that I was hoping that was the final boss, but that was actually a little bit too that was a little bit too abrupt, if you ask me. So let's review the game real quick, right? Specifically that last part. That was not a good final boss. That was not a good final boss. That final boss was bad because it was more about killing the little demons than killing the big demon. Dude, the little demons were more dangerous than the big one. The big one was just another big dumb brute with a rocket launcher. that whole boss fight, the primary threat were the regular demons. The actual boss was just there to take damage and occasionally hit you with a rocket. So yeah, I'm not a fan of that final boss. Not just because I died, but that. Come on, dude. They could have did better than that. They could have did better than that. But I tend to not like boss fights like that anyway. When they combine you having to fight a big sloppy monster while also having to fight regular enemies, that can be pretty annoying. It kind of reminds me of the boss fight in the Resident Evil 3 remake before the final confrontation with Nemesis's final form, when you were fighting him in that beast form, and then there are like zombies falling into the arena. It kind of reminds me of that. And so it's way worse here. Because at least in Resident Evil 3 remake, the zombies were slow and it took them a while to kind of catch up to you, but they would get you at the worst moment every time. But this time it was just like demon after demon. I mean, just the entire time, just Hell Knights and the fast melee demons attacking you the entire time. Yeah, look, I like the game overall, but that last part I really wasn't feeling. Honestly, it feels like the game kind of ended a bit abruptly. That final boss fight wasn't great. The final area, the caverns, was okay, but I think that area right before the boss fight when you're in that ruins area. That should have been a whole stage in of itself. It should have been the caverns 1 and 2, and then the ruins, and then the final boss. If they would have did it like that, because it only seems appropriate that the final boss, like you would fight the final boss in like a hellish area, and you did, but there should have been like a hell stage before that, right? Cavern 1, Cavern 2, Hell Ruins or something, and then the boss fight. And I think that would have been better, because that really just felt sudden. You go from the research caverns, the caverns where they were doing excavations and research, right into a boss, like the final boss fight. I didn't like that. That felt a little bit too sudden, almost like they were trying to wrap it up. And like I said, I wish this is the final boss, but that was not a good final boss. But okay, other than that. Other than the ending, overall, this was a good game. I really enjoyed myself. It was a little annoying at times, but that's what the game is supposed to be. It's called Doom. It's not. The game isn't called Happy Picnic Fun Time. It's called Doom. I felt like just one of the things that annoyed me about the game were some of the little situations, how they would set you up. Like how you would go into a room, you would see a demon, try to back out, and now the door is locked. Shit like that, man. But like I said before, if you look at it as if it's a force that's actively trying to kill you and manipulating things so that they can kill you, then it actually makes sense, and you can't really be mad at it. You can't really be mad at it if you look at it like that. Like, okay, it's a force. Not just the demons themselves, but a force that's manipulating the environment, the doors, the lights, and objects. If you look at it like that, then it makes sense. But oftentimes those parts seem to tended to annoy me a bit, to be honest. But I guess it's about how you look at it. But overall, man, it's a solid game. It's a solid survival horror action shooter, right? I mean, it is what it is. It's a straightforward game. The action is fun and satisfying. I like how you had all of these. I like the variety of the demons and the different enemies that you had to face. I like how you had to approach each one differently for the most part. like the generic Hell Knight, the ones that would throw the fireballs at you. I like how you could maneuver around the fireball and duck the fireball and then counterattack. You had the little spiders, which were just there. You know, you would, even though they weren't a big threat, they would still tend to get your ass anyway, right? They didn't deal a lot of damage, but they had numbers on their side, especially if they were in a room with another type of demon, then that's when they would really start to kind of become a threat, because they could deal like little bits and pieces of damage here and there while you're trying to deal with a bigger threat. Also the generic zombie enemy, but past a certain point, they were just bullets, just there to eat bullets. Really, like it seemed like they were there just to kind of give you an excuse to use your handgun. Then you had the chainsaw zombie, which was like really a more intimidating, more dangerous version of the zombie. You had the enemies that could fly in the air, and those enemies were difficult to deal with because those were some of the hardest enemies to hit. You know, if you notice, I missed a lot of shots trying to hit those demons that could fly. Whether you had the little like skull heads or the more bulbous round demons that would shoot the little blast at you. You had the summoners. Those, oh god, the summoners were easily the most dangerous enemy. I swear, because if you didn't take them out, they could just keep summoning more enemies, in which case you would just end up wasting ammo trying to kill these enemies that are just going to keep coming back until you destroy the summoner. Then on top of that, the summoner could take a good amount of damage, and they could really dish out damage too because of the little fire wave attack that they had. Also, you had the missile skeleton demon. He was pretty challenging because he could attack you from far away. You had the demons who had guns and shotguns, machine guns, rocket launchers, and not rocket launchers, but the Gatling gun demons. You had those. So when you ran into those enemies, they were difficult because they didn't have to even get close to you. You had to pretty much get into a firefight with them. Then you had the bigger demons that showed up towards the end. Those big demons that would throw the green energy balls at you. Of course, they were there just to be bullet sponges and intimidate you and deal a lot of damage. But yeah, that's just one thing that I like about the game. The overall enemy variety, just all the different types of enemies that you had to deal with, and how each enemy required you to approach it at least somewhat differently, right? Now, Doom 3 would be considered a horror game. But to be honest, I don't really. The game definitely had a great deal of horrific imagery, but I wouldn't necessarily call it scary. It definitely has some jump scare moments, and to be honest, there were times when you go into a new room or area and there's a bit of anxiety about what's gonna happen, because you know shit can get really bad in this game depending on like what type of demons pop out or spawn. So even though I wouldn't call the game like the game isn't scary on the level of like say Alien Isolation or Resident Evil 2 remake, but I wasn't expecting that anyway, right? Because the game does it's not the type of game where you're meant to feel underpowered going against impossible odds. You know, they even though the narrative is that you're going against impossible odds, I mean, look, that Marine might as well be a damn anime character or something because I mean, he's just totally badass, and they give you so much health and armor and ammo. I mean, even at the end there, you saw like I beat the boss and I still had plenty of ammo left. I had plenty of rockets and BFG ammo, grenades, and of course machine gun, shotgun ammo. So the game isn't really scary, but I'm not gonna really knock it for that because that's not really what I expected anyway coming into the game. So I just thought I would throw that out there because, again, Doom 3 would be classified as sort of a survival horror hybrid. It's like even though it leans heavily towards the action side, you know, it still has that survival horror coat of paint. And so you gotta check it, right? You gotta check it for its fear factor, and it doesn't have a lot of that. But I will say they did a good job of creating that a very horrific, grotesque environment, a very dangerous, spooky, kind of spooky environment, right? Just the overwhelming odds against you, all these different demons that can spawn out of nowhere, pop out of any corner behind some boxes, the little zombies and shit. So it does give you that feeling of tension, right? Because you know that enemies can pretty much pop out of anywhere, right? Especially once you see that they can just spawn into like right in front of you or behind you, right? So Doom is a very interesting game where it's not explicitly scary because the action, the high level of action that the game has offsets the scariness of it and the tension of it, you know. But at the same time, there is that sense of dread as you traverse through the various areas and try to survive. There is that feeling of, okay, let me be careful as I open this door, you know? Let me be careful at like as powerful as your character is, the game still demands that you be very careful throughout the entire game, right? Every time you turn a corner, every time you open a door, you have to be ready just to shoot. Like, that's just the kind of game that it is. So that's what makes it interesting. As far as like the plot, the story, I remember when I played this game initially when I was a kid, I was kind of disappointed that the plot really ran thin the further you got into the game. But this time I was able to really appreciate it more for what it is and not the way it started. So it's like I already knew what my expectations of the game should be. So it didn't bother me as much this time because I knew that the story elements would kind of thin out the further you got into the game. But I will say this, they did manage to sprinkle in enough story bits throughout the game to keep things at least somewhat interesting, to at least keep you somewhat invested in the plot and trying to figure out like how all of this happened and where all of this is gonna go. Between the various PDAs and the little story events that you see with the I've got the guy's name, but the dude and his bodyguard and the scientist that they're trying to pursue, and then you meet NPCs along the way that kind of give you story bits and clue and help assistance and whatnot. So again, the story it's not rich. It's no Lord of the Rings or anything like that, but I truly feel that there's just enough there to where it doesn't get in the way, but it also doesn't leave you craving more. I think they managed to put the perfect amount of story into the game without it getting in the way of the game. I just think that when I first played the game years ago, and just the way it started gave me a sense that there would be more emphasis placed on the plot than ended up being the case. But knowing that, playing it now, it didn't bother me as much. And looking back, I think that they had the perfect amount of story bits sprinkled throughout the game. But yeah, like I said, I had a good time with this game. It's a good game. Doom 3 is a good game. I might go back and play some of the. Let's see. There's some extras here too. Let's see. Yeah, Resurrection of Evil and Lost Mission. I might go back and play some of that DLC. Not DLC. Would that be considered DLC or just extra? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I might go back and play some of this. Kind of like how I did with Assignment Ada with Resident Evil 4. But we'll see. Probably not anytime soon though. I'm done with this game. I'm done with this game for now. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Oh yeah, let me give it a score, just for the sake of. Overall, I would give Doom 3 a 7.5 out of 10. It's good plus. It is a good plus game. I wouldn't quite say great, maybe at the time, but now it's now this type of, truth be told, this type of game, you don't see a lot of games like this being made anymore. These straightforward action adventure 10-hour games, you don't see a lot of those anymore. We're in a different era where there's like much higher expectations, and even that is kind of a for better or for worse type of thing, where it seems like a lot of games feel the need to have a lot of padding and unnecessary bullshit and collecting this and collecting that and stupid side missions and whatnot. But that's just where we are, and I think in terms of in terms of content, games nowadays tend to be kind of packed in a way that like this game is definitely from a different era, is what I'm trying to say. It's from the era where straightforward 10-hour action adventure games were the norm, and that's not really the case anymore. So I think the game definitely holds up, but it is what it is. By today's standard, it wouldn't be considered a great game, but I still think it holds up to be a good game. And hope you guys enjoyed that playthrough, and I will be returning later with more awesome playthroughs. So stay safe and stay cool.